Okay, so there's a couple things I want to talk about. This was kind of tripped me out. Well, I didn't, it wasn't like, oh my God, it's scary. No, I just thought it was kind of cool. So this morning, I woke up, Stella had been stirring around and everything, and so my shoulder was just killing me. So I was just laying there and laying there, and I was like, I'm just gonna get up. I felt awake. Like there was like a lot of times, like last night was the eclipse. I was definitely feeling some weird energy. It's like weird. And then, so I'm just laying there, and all of a sudden I go, oh yeah, it's 4:20. So today, I'm gonna run down to the weed store and get the $1.50 joints. And yesterday when I went in, and there was a big giant 420 balloons and all this stuff, and I said, "Is today 4:20?" And she's like, "No, tomorrow is." And I was like, "Oh dang, I should have come tomorrow." But then I was like, "Oh well, I'm already here. I gotta get Stella's meds, and you're only allowed a certain amount per day." And I guess government, government, fuck them. And anyway, so that came into my head, and I walked around the corner to look at the time and start the tea water, because that only lasted a couple days. But when I turned the corner, it said 4:20 on the stove. I just started laughing. I just was like, that was hilarious. It was like, I don't know if they were just like, hell yeah, it's 4:20, or I don't know. It was just one of those synchronicity kind of things where it was just like, oh my gosh, that is so funny. But there was yesterday, I was so excited about this. When I saw it yesterday, I couldn't even believe it. And so I did a couple of TikToks, and they were going really fast, but every motherfucking time, as soon as I get views or anything, then they just like shut it down. I don't know what the fuck they do. Even this morning when I got up, like no notifications whatsoever, which they often don't notify me. Yesterday I got this whole somebody just went in on my thing. If you say anything about religion, boy, you can really put some people into a fucking tailspin. And this guy went in, and I don't even know, 20 fucking comments. And so I just blocked him. He is off the rails, man, that guy. And so but I had a bunch of comments on this video. And the thing is like, when I'm talking to y'all, and especially anybody who's been listening to me for a long time, knows how long I've been saying this stuff. And I mean, I don't even know how long. I just know it's been long. And so it's happening, which to me, I feel like, I swear, I really feel like I'm batting pretty good on saying like this is going to happen or that's going to happen, because I only say the things that I can see what's going to happen. Like, I don't know the actual thing that is going to occur that is going to flip us the other direction. I just know it's going to be really dramatic, and it's going to be intense. That's the only thing I know. But otherwise, I don't know what it is. That's why I'm always listening when other people are saying, oh, it's this, it's that. But really, it just turns into, it's not just one set thing. The biggest thing I hear over and over is definitely the sky thing. But that can be later on the big sky event. Like that could be later after, because we got a lot of things going now. Like, things are in movement. And we have this, the cataclysm coming, the reset. And that is, that is a cosmic thing. And the people in charge, they want to keep it hidden from us. But the people who are trying to be in charge want us to understand what's going on. And so, I just saw somebody read the whole Rockefeller, it's not their mission statement, but basically it's their covenant, their hidden covenant or something. And I mean, every single thing is so done on purpose. Like, nothing of, they kill us on, they mislead us on, all of it. And they think it's funny. And they think that they are above the spiritual law. They think that they're not doing anything wrong. But because they put it on TVs and stuff like that, but things are going to flip back on them. And you know, you can't put things out of balance and just be like, well, they wanted it that way. That's why they try and say, like, the age of consent and stuff. You know, it's, no, you can't go against, there's God's law. That's the main law. The other laws that they have people distorted in their minds, the main thing is you can't interfere with another soul. Like, you can't steal from them. You can't steal their wives. You can't, like, everybody's on their own journey. You can't interfere with another person's soul like that. That is the law of the universe, and that is what they break over and over. So they put things out of balance in people's lives, and they've got so much stuff out of balance. Like, you know, as far as the way I understand is that what you put out of balance, you got to put back into balance. That's karma. As putting anything you put out of balance, it's up to you to put it back into balance. And there's no God coming into, oh, you didn't do it right. Oh, it's okay. Go. Hold on. That they're not going to sit there and say, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about that. You know, no. And a soul and kids, everything, all souls are equal. And so the soul is held responsible for its own choices. There is no getting away with making somebody else fix your mess. It's not possible. It's just impossible. It is the energy you put out. It is your energy put out. So anyways, as for, you know, everybody can figure that out on their own, you know, start trying to understand that stuff on their own. But the thing I was so excited about that I will talk more about too, what was, because the covenant thing. Oh, yeah, and the energy thing. Okay. So, but the thing I was so excited about was, so in Jackson, I think it's called Jackson, Mississippi, but I don't know why I keep getting Jacksonville. I don't know why. But I think it's just called Jackson, Mississippi. And they're the first one to come out. And so they are saying, like, you can go in and read it. This is what they put out, that they are breaking free from the all governing forces. They're going to go in to become the Republic of Jackson. So they're going to become a sovereign community, and everything is free. Anybody who wants to come and build this with them, it's free housing, free land, free electricity, free everything. This is what I have been saying, and I have been talking about that the one group is going to start moving people into safe places without the mass hysteria. And I think that's why things are starting to be like kind of overlaying, where the one side is still fighting and the other side is like, okay, time's up. No, we're coming in now. No, it's too late. We're going hard. I mean, I even got a thing yesterday asking to impeach Clarence Thomas. I don't even know all this stuff going on about him. All I know is, like, there's something with his porn hub or something has been released. Like, he's rotten. He's rotten. He's not somebody we want to be making decisions for us. He's a sellout, rotten. You know, he's gross. And so, but that is going to be all these different people. Yesterday, my mom sent me a thing where Juan was talking, and he said that the thing with I only saw some of it. I hadn't seen the whole thing. But he was talking about that all the big thing with these people not signing their paperwork. So this huge amount of Congress and Senate and who all knows, you know, that's the thing, is it's the exposing of the corruption, but that they haven't signed any of their paperwork. He said, so all these people that have gone in and changed legislature and made rulings and stuff like that, that all of that stuff can be thrown out in court now because they're not even real. And so there's going to be utter chaos, some of these things, but like anything that Kamala has signed is invalid because the paperwork isn't there. So her paper trail. And so it's a whole bunch of them. And I don't know what the hell's going on with this Fetterman, but it's like the people who know him as a big old thing. And I don't know of him very well, but people are, it seems like maybe he got sick and came back or something, and he's being weird and he's still holding an office, but I'm not sure. But all that stuff is going to keep going because it's the exposing. It's so people have to see, and they're going to draw people's attention. So yeah, there'd be a big sickness and all this talk. So it's so to draw more attention in. And so, and everything has to be super absurd. So some of this stuff you may not even want to pay attention to because it's just going to be absurd and it's just going to piss you off. And it's just to be so people will start realizing, like, what? That's fucking outrageous. So that they start to question something, because that's what clicks in people's minds is there has to be something that clicks over to start questioning things. So there's going to be more and more with the outrage and more crazy stuff. And he said that, and I saw there's something really big going on with Israel and the war over there. And somebody there is saying they've never seen anything that is going on right now, but it goes with the Bible prophecy and stuff like that, which still is so trippy because they could have fucking written all that prophecy themselves. I mean, the stuff that is coming out, like the religion that they're based on is all, like, you could go watch the documentary Zeitgeist, and it explains more about Saturn or the sun god and stuff like that. But so that's what they worship. And then, so in the upside down, and not to say that they are worshiping evil. That's where people get so messed up, is being so much like about evil, and like there's a good and a bad. There's just a good and a bad, and they're bad and they're good. No, they just know that, and it says in that Rockefeller document thing, whatever, the mission statement thing, it even says in there that they know the secrets to the universe, and they just need to keep it hidden from us so that they can enjoy it and stuff. So that's the thing, is that they understand. And it's whatever you worship, it's what you put your energy into. It's not like good or bad or whatever. And these people though, they worship like this ball and stuff, like these ancient kind of gods that needed to have blood spilled for them or something. Like it's like back in the days when a volcano would be going, and it was the virgin, let's throw the virgin in to stop the volcano, feed them a virgin and everything will be okay. They're still like that. They still think like that. And their practices are dark and evil, and because they're stepping over other souls' rights. Like they're taking they're doing a lot of bad stuff. I mean, yesterday a little girl, I just saw the news bulletin thing of an 8-year-old girl found at the border, no parents, and 67 different DNA in her. I'm so fucking disgusted. Like, what the fuck? You see a little girl and that's what you think? Instead of like, here, I need to help this child. Like, these sick motherfuckers. And one of the things too is like, that's what people are got to see. This, the traffic situation that we have going is so much of them going to these poor countries and stealing these little dark kids and then bringing over here and selling them to these rich motherfuckers just so that they can do whatever the fuck they want to them. And yeah, we get a lot of people stolen here too, because the corrupt motherfuckers that go to work in like CPS and these sick fucks that started, now they're going up, they're getting in trouble. Like CPS is in big trouble. There's a judge that said it's death penalty. I said that this is what's going to be happening. People are going to be shocked when people and their families are being carted out for crimes that they're going to have to answer for. And there's going to be people who are involved, and they may not get the absolute end that somebody else is going to get. But it's going to be intense. It's going to be intense. And so that judge is going after people who worked in CPS, and he said that is the kid. He said the whole thing. And and he said it all. You can go find that footage too. I mean, we got the one judge. It may even be the same judge coming out and saying that you don't have to pay your credit cards or your bank loans anymore because they are in trouble. And I've been seeing these people going up before Congress or something, like they're in trouble. They're in trouble for these crimes. This isn't just like, oh no, this is going away. No, these people are in trouble. And so, people who got involved in certain organizations here, foundations and government, politics, all these people, and getting involved with this selling of children, and then like, oh, well, I could make a bundle off of these ones. This person's not worthy. I'm going to grab their kids, and, they start kidnapping kids here. There's some really bad things that have happened. And so that's what, the judges are, it's over with. Like all this stuff is over. And the people who are still out there trying to work and do these jobs, they're very robotic. They're very, just go get their job done. Yesterday or Monday, my daughter called me, she was in her pajamas and it was like 9. And I was like, are you staying home today or something? And she said, no, our place closed for 6 weeks. They said they're doing construction. And I was like, oh, so interesting. Isn't that convenient? And her sister works there, the one that's not speaking to me. And I said, what about her? She just got that job she loves so much. And she said, well, those people get to still stay there. There's a couple people there. But the other people, nobody can be there. But I said, well, I just know, people who have done crimes and stuff, they're going down. I even sent her that video of that judge. And she doesn't work for CPS. She works for Passages, which is another what is that called? Where they supposedly don't make any money. And all the money goes back to the people. It's bullshit. She was even earlier this year or last year, she was telling me about the corruption with the CEO who just gives herself $100,000 raise and stuff like that, and how outrageous it is to the people who are doing all the work and stuff. And I said, those are the exact people that are going to be going down. Like those people, like you watch, that's where things are going to flip. And these people who have been going out and doing stuff like that, they're going to be held accountable. It's not going to be getting away with this shit anymore. And the people who have really been, and it's going to be a lot about what's in someone's heart. It's by your intention. And so it will make a lot more sense when things start going down and stuff. And it will be almost like, I think, a lie detector machine, this quantum, that will be able to, you can't hide yourself. Like, you won't be able to hide yourself. And so your intention, were you just evil and didn't give a fuck? Have you learned? Have you changed? There's going to be a lot of stuff about it, I think. But the people who have, been involved, like who intentionally took children and did things, sold all that stuff. Oh yeah, they're going to find themselves at the end of a rope, or, a lot of people pointing things at them and waiting to wonder which one's got the golden one. So yeah, it's going to get really gruesome, 100%. And people in banks and CPI, all these different agencies. And one thing too, Juan said, is just what I said about that 21-year-old. That was some bullshit. That is one of those things that is like, it's so absurd that it's like, no fucking way. This 21-year-old guy who's just like, and all of a sudden he's got the secrets of the world. Let's arrest him. And so Juan was saying that you got to see that this war is like the NSA, the CIA, and the FBI are fighting against each other. But the NSA is separate. Like the FBI and the CIA are kind of more on the same, And so it is this, they're using decoy scapegoats, and that's what Snowden was, that's what this guy was, that they give them a lot of information so that they can be the takedown, the fall guy. Just like what they did, what was that movie? Fun with Dick and Jane, with the Jim Carrey character, how they gave him this great position just so that they could make him the fall guy. That's what they do. And that's what they have done with those guys. And so, yeah, that poor 21-year-old now, Snowden, I mean, he's in another country. He's not even safe to come back here. But anyways, that's what Juan said. It is, so one side is disclosing all of this corruption of the other side. And so in the NSA, they've got corrupt parts, but everything has, everything's a spectrum. And so it's like the people in the gray area, they would be more safe. The people on one end, they're not going to be safe at all. And the people at the other end, they're the ones that is moving towards. So everything had two sides, but the one side is going away. And so they probably, before they even started doing some of the stuff, there was probably people out of the NSA that were already arrested and stuff, that were, selling secrets or whatever. But because the NSA's whole job, especially since Trump came around, is because when he went to go to all those meetings, he was taking packets from the NSA and handing them out to these guys, and it had all their crimes laid out because they've been being watched. The NSA is the one who saw that they were the ones, these guys were communicating in video games. Like they could go into video game chat, so that, because now how kids play video games, they play it in groups of people outside of their houses. So you can be playing, it's like remotely or something. And so that wasn't being tracked in the communication, but they didn't know that they were all being tracked anyway. So they caught them all on there talking and conversing and communicating and stuff like that. And so they've got everything on these people. These people are, they wouldn't have come in hard if they still were gathering information. So, and so it's the NSA is the kind of the more good guys, the ones that are trying to fight the entity of evil, the cabal, to me it's like gangsters. It's like, it's the same thing as like gangsters. Any of those shows you watch with gangsters, and it's like the same thing has happened all over the place. Like the Rockefellers are the gangsters. And so all of that, I can't remember what I was going to say about that, but one of the things though with the city thing, so when this stuff starts changing, like I said, it's going to be, so much stuff is going to be given away, but it's not going to be like you would go and say, okay, well, I want 100 acres. It's not going to be about hoarding and stuff like that. It's going to be like, how much do you need? How much do you want? And there will be areas that will be way further out. So if it's like really like, I don't want to be very close to people, I don't want to be right in the middle of a little city, then, there'll be places that will be more open. But it's not like they're going to say, here's 100 acres, go out, because you can go and look and see, in these shows like Yellowstone and all of these different shows where they show these land, even Outer Bounds, I think that show was called, with Josh Brolin, is fighting over these acres that are way, way out, that these people, and they'll start fighting over it. And that is where people have been able to go in and homestead and start working that land these people don't even ever mess with. And so you're not going to be able to get more than you can work, more than you can handle. And if you're going to have, you need pastures, then I'm sure there will be certain places. Like everything is going to be a lot more productive towards your needs. It's going to be a lot easier to find your way, your place in this new kind of world. And just like, in the 15-minute cities, it's going to be cubicle living. Like you're going to get like a shoebox to live in, and it's going to be all high tech, you know, with the, everything is going to be fake and high tech, but, you know, they want you more in a screen, you know, they want your consciousness in a little black box. They don't want you. And they've shown that in movies and stuff. You know, the whole thing about trapping consciousness in the little black box. I just saw that like a couple of months ago, and I talked about it, where that woman, and then she tried to put her son's consciousness in another guy, like do what are those things? A transplant. And, oh yeah, and there's all these people, because there's so many people speaking out now on the trans stuff. So there's all these different people speaking out on the transitioning. And this one yesterday I saw that I think they're a he now. A lot of them are just in a state of androgyny. They've just, things are just gotten messed up with the drugs and stuff. But she started on the drugs to become a boy. So she was taking testosterone, and it did something to her. And so it caused a serious problem, and she had to go off of it. So she's stuck in this thing. But her whole platform is that you've got to learn to love yourself. Don't start changing yourself. The drugs, the surgeries, all of this stuff that is for these people to experiment on people. And people just keep lining up because they don't love themselves. They aren't sure of their own identity. They don't know who they are. And it is difficult. You know, a soul has to come into alignment with the avatar. And what they want to do the whole time is keep you out of alignment so that you feel, you know, out of place and uncomfortable the whole fucking time. It's part of their mission statement. They have it right in their goddamn, that thing that Rockefeller wrote. So, you know, they play on that. And so all these people, it's like that other guy who I saw, the 30-year-old man who still looks like a woman, is super, his features are no hair growth, no voice change, and none of that stuff. And because not everybody's going to have perfect results, you know, and you know, it is, you know, there is hope for people who just, you know, can't get over their body dysmorphia, but it is certainly something that you should try and resolve yourself with, is to just learn to love yourself, because there's nothing that will ever solve that until it comes from inside. So anything you do on the outside is a temporary thing, and then there'll be another thing to hate about yourself. You know, because the whole thing is learning to love yourself. And so, you know, so many people just hate themselves. They're just uncomfortable. They don't like themselves. They don't like how they think. They don't like how they look. They don't like how they feel. It's just, you know, it's hard to get over all of that stuff. And so, you know, they want to give you the easy way out, you know, not just a pill. Now just put your mind in a screen and we can see what happens. Because I think that is the problem with all these kids. They're shorting out. And I think that it has something to do with the AI and the screens. And I mean, even in Chicago, it was like all these kids went to the streets and started tearing things up and burning things down. Compton, I think, it isn't just kids, but it's having all the big cities. They're all going to, that is going to be what's going to keep going on. So in this one in Jackson, so they're going to get, I was even like, man, I fucking, shit keeps dragging out. I'll just go and get a camper, or I don't know, maybe I'll just fucking take my Volvo and just drive to fucking Mississippi. I think that there will be some that are closer up here, but I kind of want a change of scenery from being up here in the north for so long. And like there's gonna be places over by Wyoming, and there's gonna be, with the pole shift, the weather's gonna change too. So I don't know, but you know, if it keeps dragging and dragging, I definitely will. I'll go down and be a pioneer in the fucking future city. I think the big thing that's gonna draw a lot of people in is a free house. I mean, and One of the things Trump did too was he did a press conference and about the homeless, and see how they'll turn it and twist it like he didn't care about the homeless. I already saw somebody doing that. He doesn't care about the homeless. See, he just wants to throw them all out and tear, and do a little clip about him saying about what is happening in the cities. They're just becoming drugs, and I mean, it's bad. And but when you listen and you understand what his what he's talking about, is that they're going to be cleaning up the streets. They're going to be taking people off the streets. They're going to be going in and, counseling with people. This is like the jobs that are going to be taken off are going to be ones that are out to help humanity. That is going to blow up. Any kind of thing. It's not going to be like you need a college degree to help. But I think there's going to be so many addicts. I think a lot of addicts are going to be, leaders, and because they were able to get over it, and they'll be able to lead other people through that path. And so there's going to be a lot of that, because it is when somebody who's walked the path, it's easier to relate, to understand. And so they're going to, I just think there's going to be a lot of addicts who have healed and have, found their truth, and are going to be out there helping people find theirs. So it's going to be really fucking cool. But there's going to be so many jobs like that. But it's going to be from personal. It's going to be real. It's not going to be just like you went and got a degree, a piece of paper that says, like, how they do in The Wizard of Oz. Oh, now you have a brain. It says right here on this piece of paper. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be, what do you have to offer the world? What can you share about you? Do you still need to do healing? Or are you ready to help others? Are you ready to build communities? Are you ready to help people figure out how to educate their children, and how to, get food here? And, what can I sell for myself so that I can make money? It's like, it's going to be really cool, I think. But, so they're going to go and start taking all these people off the streets and clean up the streets. And some of these cities, though, it's going to start, I think, probably in like littler one, like Jackson, where they go in, they clean it up, they start taking these people, start giving away homesteads, giving away property, giving away houses, just all sorts of stuff. And then they're going to put these people, he said that they're going to go figure out what they need. Because there's a lot of people who just became homeless, and all they need is a home. All you need to do is give them a home. They're not desperate. They're not on drugs. They're just, scared living in their car. So those people are going to be, easily here, go and start finding where you want to live, and start making a home with your family. There's going to be so much of that. Like, probably Jackson will be filled with people from like Florida who became displaced from the hurricanes, the people who have lost everything in storms and stuff. They'll be the first ones that'll start filling some of these cities up, because it is, it's out of necessity. They don't have a home. There's so many people out there struggling and living in their cars and stuff. And people still with I'm not going anywhere, Trump says. It's like, well, those are going to be your biases that you're going to have to get over. And so it's something you got to look at deeper, if that's how you feel about it. And so and then once they get like the people who are just recently home, or just, that need places to live, that's all they need is some place to have shelter. Then those people are going to be, easily being worked with, helping them. There's going to be people who help them find places, like all those kinds of jobs. And then there's going to be, so they're going to bring all the ones in, and the ones that are mentally ill, they're going to start doing a lot of mental health treatment and stuff. So it would be, if it's vets and they got PTSD, and they, so they'll start working with people. And it's going to be what these people want. Like, if these people are like, I don't want help, I don't want a better life, then they're going to say, okay, you're free to go. But if the people want a better life, then they're going to have opportunities for real rehab, not just this fake one. And he said this drug that they have people strung out on is really serious. And it's gonna be a challenge for some of these people to get off of it. Very challenging, but it has to come from inside. Nothing can be fixed from the outside. Everything comes from inside. You have to believe in your own power. You have to believe that the life that you can make it what you want. It can become better, and it's by choice. Once you decide that you have value and that you want to live, you turn your life into what you want it to be. It's like you put yourself on that timeline of a higher timeline where everything goes better, instead of where you're just in the streets and being a victim. It's the empowerment or victim. But everybody's going to have the option. You can stay a victim if that's what you want. But the world is going to keep changing. The cataclysms are going to come. People are going to be wiped out. But it's going to be a vibration thing. It's not going to be a like you're a bad person thing and Jesus is going to put you in. It's not all that stuff. It is. It's all about vibration and what you're ready for. And because even if you don't, you don't want to talk about it or whatever, you're inside. Your soul knows. Your soul knows what it's here for. It's like if you don't want to talk to it and find out, then that's up to you. But so when the freedom cities start going in, so they start putting all those people in, and then they start taking all these homeless and putting them in centers. That's where the healing centers, and that is where I said there's going to be real quick with the med beds. So I would think probably in Jackson is where we're going to start seeing first appointments with med beds. There's going to be all the technology that has been withheld. And right away they're going to they already said free electricity and stuff. So it's going to be Tesla. And it's going to be, it's going to be real different. But it's going to be the first one. I mean, they're going to get more and more cool as it goes. That's for sure. Because people are going to start catching on to what's going on. And it's going to start being people who really want to go out and build communities and really do something, leave a legacy. Develop a new kind of way for people to educate themselves, which to me, it is rec centers, some sort of a center that is in the middle where people can go, like all sorts of different things. Like you could have all sorts of different things, but that's where I think it should be made available for people who have things that they can teach. And so, they can go there and then they can hold classes for what they can teach. And then kids can come and pay to go to their classes and learn from them. And just all different, like a really broken up, more self-directed. Like, what do you want to learn? I want to learn how to play guitar. I want to learn how to cook. I want to learn how to sew. And there'll be all these different people in these centers that go for probably by appointment, or by certain hours or groups or whatever. This is what I'm saying. People will figure this stuff out. And then, like a woman who knows how to sew and can teach little girls to sew. And all the little girls come pay $5 to come to class. And the woman has a class for a couple hours and goes home with, $60, $70. But the money thing is going to be way different. Like, you've got to be thinking, we're going back to prices that are going to be of the 50s and 60s. So where things were actually, weren't inflated. We're going back to before they started messing with the prices of things and inflating it to try and, just trap us more in their money system and make us have to work harder and harder and harder and never get ahead. And so all that's going to drop away. So you're not going to need I got to make at least $1,000 this week. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be all your stuff is already taken care of. You already got a home for free. You've got your electricity for free. You've got water for free. Now you're just out there just being a part of society. You are, you're creating the relationships that you want to have. And so you are making money off of your own self. And so, if you're a total jerk, nobody's going to come, do your class. And so nobody's going to want your stuff. So it's going to kind of raise the bar to where each person's going to have to become a better person, where people are like, yeah, well, how will we do that? There's still going to be all these assholes. It's going to be different. There will be people who will just go away because of the vibration of the planet won't be able to be sustainable to them. And then there will be people who will be forced to grow if they want to be a part of society, because it's going to be, we don't need to have rules and laws, we just need to have standards. And if somebody is in a community and they're just, troublemaker and constantly causing chaos or doing something wrong or bad or something that the rest of the group is like, no way, then they would just be like, you're not wanted here. Go find another place. And if they have to go from community to community, eventually they're going to say like, man, I just want to fit in. What do I have to do? And it is like, don't cause other people problems. Don't take other people's things. Don't harass other people. Don't be mean. Don't be rude. Don't be hateful. It's simple. And I know a lot of people do it out of defensiveness and anger and sadness. I mean, another group of kids shot out of the blue, like the cheerleaders now, and they killed the one. No. Yeah, he did. He killed one of them. I'm pretty sure. Man, I'm getting just mixed up now with all these different these whacked out guys. And this girl, she thought that the car was hers. She ran over, opened the door, jumped in, and then saw someone else was in the thing, and all of a sudden it clicked like, oh, that's not my car. She jumps out, jumps back in her friend's car, probably is like, oh my God, I just got in the wrong car. The guy gets out of the car, walks over, opens the door, and just starts, oh my God, what is wrong with people? But this is the stuff that has to keep being outrageous so that we can keep seeing that the society is broken. People are broken. Mental health is so serious that it is crazy. Like the mental health is our biggest issue. That's what I think. And it was purposely done to make people be like this. And it's just sad, And these people, they know like death isn't real, but it's still like you are living your life. That's the thing. That's why it's against God when you go and you do things, take somebody else's life because it's theirs. And those things are all playing out. Those are all contracted things. Like those are all real. It's nothing happens by accident. But those are the things that we start looking at, and looking at it with more perspective and understanding and seeing. And we don't need to play those games out anymore. That's why, things are going to change in the age of Aquarius, of the incarnations, the experiences are going to change. It's not going to be the same. It's still going to be learning and understanding yourself, but it's going to be in a different scenario. And so everything is about, you learning about you and expanding and stuff. But I just had been saying that Trump was going to start giving away all this stuff, that is going to be, when they start doing that, that's going to be where they're starting to really pull people into certain areas, which I believe is safety zones. I haven't gone and looked at the map, but I'm sure Jackson is going to be in an area that's going to be safe in the map situation that's going on. And in Ohio, because I think it's Cleveland wanted to be the first 15-minute city. Those ones are the ones you don't want to go anywhere near. They're going to be very restrictive of your movement. It's all going to be based on a carbon footprint, and it's all nonsense. And then it's just more their propaganda and bullshit. The other one is not going to be like that at all. It's like you're free to go and live your life. There's not going to be taxes. There's not going to be bills. It's going to be, you go live your life. You figure out what you want to do. In your communities, you want to make money doing this or that, then that's what this is where communities are going to actually build, where there's going to be, and it's going to be a lot of like-minded people that are going to end up being in certain communities. Like it will be like gravitating towards people that people agree with, but they have to still do their healing, because there's so many people who still think like, I mean, there's so many people so confused over the 15-minute city and the future city. They still hate Trump so much. They don't want to go anywhere near him. Then people sharing footage of him saying, go get these. Yeah, I got one. It's great. It's going to come out. His was different. They were lying to him. That's what's going to be the big thing, is the lies, is what they were telling him. So, of course, I mean, how can he come out and say, oh, I know they're lying, people? I mean, people got to see it had to play out the way it had to play out. And it's the reason that, we can see is because we can see. It's the awakening. It's once you can see, then it becomes irritating. And, but yeah, it was, he that's what's going to come out from that. And I don't know, there's all these people, there's a fucking legal paper or something that people are saying, a whole transcript of this whole graping of a small child with him and this, the EP, supposedly, which I don't believe that. I think there's, I just think that there's a lot of manipulation and information that goes so deep that people just don't have any idea. And they share stuff and they think it's real. There's so many people still sharing these flight logs and the black book and all this stuff. And it's like, that stuff's gonna be worked out in courts and stuff. Like, they've got footage, they've got everything they need on the people who are going down. And so it will become clear. And the people who think that it's every single person, and that's just, paranoid. And to even think that every single person that went there participated. No, what they try and do is like, oh, let's have a big old party. I mean, fucking Hugh Hefner did the same shit. And have a big old party, get everybody there. And there's certain rooms that you just don't want to go into, but there's certain rooms that they try and get certain people into, because the whole thing is to get them set up in some sort of a blackmail situation, so they have something to hold over them, so that they are a puppet. That's their whole thing. And then they use every ploy that they can to get control, so that they just have puppets everywhere. And so, and this is going to be, because it even says in their Rockefeller statement, is to trick the people, so that they can have people that think that they are a part of the group, but it's all a trick. They'll never be a part of the group. They will always be, the chattel or whatever they think that we are. We're always just below them. They are the superior beings because they have the knowledge of the truth, but they hide the knowledge of the truth, and they worship Saturn and Baal and all that stuff. And then they create a religion and flipped it upside down, so that they had people who were worshiping their God, but think they're worshiping a different God. And it is, but that's what I said, the people who follow religion, they have a lot of stuff that they're going to have to come to terms with inside themselves. They're going to have to resolve what's in their heart and what's in their mind, how they've been misled, and understand what's in your heart is real. But there's going to be so much, the ego death is, and it isn't like you really kill your ego. It is that you just recognize and manage it, and you start seeing the role it has. But when it first becomes known to you, it is a beast. And so that is the shadow work. That is the ego work. Yeah, it's the facing yourself. That's where you feel shame and you feel regret and these things that are so, so painful that seem just unbearable. And there's people out there going through it right now, man, sharing footage that is just like they are struggling. And that's why I said there's going to be a lot of people who won't be able to manage it. It's very hard. It's very painful. And that's why I keep saying, do not be hard on people when they're going through this stuff. You gotta just, or that's going to be something you're going to find out about yourself that you're not going to like, because you're going to see it in yourself and you're not going to like. You're going to feel impatient. You're going to feel judgmental. You're going to feel angry, bitter, like all different things that are going to come up. So my advice is, to be mindful, really think about things, and really have empathy and compassion for the people who are going through the realization, because it is very, very hard. And I definitely am seeing people who, they're having a hard time to just get through a day. They don't know that they can do the next day. This is, that, but there's going to be tons, and we haven't even gotten to the really bad part yet. There's going to be tons. There's going to be mass. I mean, I had said there's going to be really horrific things going on in homes. And yeah, a woman goes and kills her son yesterday, then goes to, I think that she went and drove her car into the lake and then just started walking. I don't know if she was going back home to kill. I don't know if she just was going to escape. But she, as far as she was concerned, she was protecting her son. So I said there's going to be a lot of people who think they're protecting their child and that are going to do that stuff. The whole families and stuff. I think it's going to be really, really, really pretty dreadful, whatever is going to occur. And that is going to be the humanity flip. It's going to be this energetic flip for the people. And that is going to be, because it's already going where people are so struggling. So when that goes, it's going to be like, fuck, man. It is going to be like, all of a sudden it's open fire on you. It's going to feel like, and it's super intense. And so when that happens, then we got to go through this huge thing with anger and healing, and just, it's going to be very dramatic. And then but there's going to be people, like I said, people who have been doing the work and healing and getting it and stuff. They're going to start moving into these cities. They'll be, leaders in the cities. And other people who are moving into them are just trying to be rehoused. They're going to be just trying to get their houses set up. It's all going to go in really perfect. You'll see. The people who have been doing the work are just going to slide into positions of leadership that are going to be leading because they've been doing the work and they have that ability at this point. And there's going to be other people who are struggling. There's going to be people who have been doing the work in their cars. Just because someone's homeless doesn't mean they're not doing the work. I mean, they're being hit hard. And if they are really facing their demons, then they're doing the work. And so it's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be like these phoenix coming out of the ashes when people start stepping into these roles. And so there's going to be all those, what was I going to say? There's all those cities and stuff. They're going to start being built up, and then they're going to start spreading it out more, and there's going to be more and more of those cities that are going to be opening up. The 15-minute ones and stuff they're starting, all that's going to collapse. That will be a part of, as people go down, then they're going to, it will stop certain things. So that's all going to start, falling apart. And, but there was something else I was saying a second ago, and then I just all of a sudden went blank for a second. Let me think for a second, because, okay, so yeah, so everybody will start moving into these cities, and then so more and more of these cities will start forming, but it's going to be a lot of chaos and stuff. So they're not going to be able to be like, okay, there's a cataclysm coming, people, we need to get you moving and stuff. It's going to be more like the ants that can do it, do it for themselves will still be around. The ones that are lagging and are way at the, just think about in nature, when the herd moves, and then the ones that are lagging, that they're the ones that become victim, then that is kind of what it's going to be like. Like if you're not on top of things, then you're just, it's going to be about vibration and stuff. So there's going to be, tons and tons of people that are going to be left behind. Like they'll start doing more evacuations and more building these cities, but there'll be people who are like, there's no way, I'm not going there, and that they'll have to see a lot, and then there can be some disasters that are going to happen that are going to take them out because of the vibration. And so I think what they're going to try and do is just start really herding people into these safe zones as the cataclysms come, because the cataclysms, when they start going, is going to reset everything on the planet. I saw where somebody was just doing a whole thing about the Great Lakes, and so I guess you can look up about this. It's something about it's really a crater underneath there that's 12,000 years old, and they think that was the last reset, was that hitting that crater, that explosion or whatever. So whatever will happen is going to be something really big. There's going to be the cataclysm, because it's got to change the whole thing. But I think it's coming really fast. I think in 2024 is supposed to be. It's just from different things that I keep seeing. But I think something about 2024 is when the cataclysm. And that's why I think they're pushing so hard now to try and get people to start, getting into safer places. Because, if people are living over in Montana and Wyoming, and the West Coast falls into the ocean, it's going to be like, okay, well, the West Coast is gone now, and all the land masses are going to be changing. But it's going to be very different if nobody's living there than if, half the population is. So, and they know the cataclysm's coming. That's like the one side is trying to keep us in the dark, and the other side is trying to tell us, but they can't just come out and say shit and panic everybody. And then plus the person who's saying it, half the people don't even believe them. So it has to play out the way it plays out. But, for the people who are doing the work, because, that's part of the awakening. And so they know that is a part of the awakening. The people who are waking up and starting to understand and see things, that those people will naturally gravitate towards these freedom cities. And, I did see where somebody did come into my thing and said, they're a homesteader. They've already got their place. There's no way that they would go do that. It's like, you don't have to go do that. The thing is that wherever you are, so if you've done your homestead and you're out in the middle of nowhere, and maybe there's like another couple houses out there somewhere, and it's going to be, so if you guys start saying, hey, we got to build a community out here, we got to get more people to come out here, we could put in a little education center out here, we could put in a little mall where we could sell our stuff, we could start gardening together, do a big old garden out here, we could get more people. That is where you start doing the proposals into the, I'm not going to say government, because it's not going to be like that. It's going to be like redistribution centers, kind of. So you would go and say, like, me and we're out here in this homestead. We've got 10 acres. There's a lot of parcels out here that, could be productive. We could get a lot of farms going out here. We would like to build more city, get more people to come this direction and start building this into a community. That is where they're going to help people to be able to do that. So you don't have to abandon this cool place that you've gotten because now you got to go into the freedom cities. No, this is the redistribution of wealth into communities. And so it is to help build communities into sound places where people can raise their kids and live life and be free. And so there will be many, but if, you come in and you sound like some sort of, cult crazy person, you just, you want to keep certain people out and only do your people, then it will be like you're on your own, because the money is going to go into humanitarian projects, into building up communities, and, it's going to switch into building people up rather than tearing people down. And so anyways, it's going to be like that. But I think they're going to try and get as many people into the safer areas before like California falls off. Like, even though it's stressful as fuck being over here where I'm at, and then just keep seeing this shit. Like yesterday, Seattle had some bombs or something, and then I was seeing that they were evacuating Seattle, and it was like, fuck, I mean, when that shit goes down, it's gonna go, and it's gonna go fast. I don't know what that was that happened. Somebody was saying it was the anniversary of Oklahoma, and so that they were doing something there, but this is what's gonna keep going. I mean, probably the parking garage was an intentional explosion. You know, we just pull a car up there that has something in it. You know, we've got instigators everywhere. And they're showing that there is 2,000, I don't know if it's every day or every week or whatever, or month or whatever, but there's huge amounts of young Chinese men coming across the border. And they're not just coming across in the airports. They're flying into Latin America, and then, Latin America, South America. And then they are walking, and then they're crossing, and then they're coming in the back door with these other people. And so, the people they're coming in with, those are, Taliban, they're the cartel, all these, they're all the instigators and the people who are here to make our lives harder. So even if it's not, hand-to-hand battle, it's like they go in, blow this up, go in, blow that up, do this, do that, go follow girls around Walmart and stuff like that. And people are so devastated about Walmart's closing, which all of it is done on purpose, to close it down where these people are inner city and they have no food. For one thing, get them dependent on that food, and then just close it down so that they have nowhere else to go, because they knocked everything else out so that they could become the number one. And the the corruption is just, it's so disgusting, man. It's so fucking sickening. So, but anyways, it was what I had just been talking about that they were going to do about those freedom cities and moving. And then they started, yesterday saying that stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this is just what I said was going to happen. But I can go out there and say that all day long to people, and they don't understand it. There's one who I really like her. She's always exposing so much stuff. She is like, man, she's really built her channel up too. And so she came in and she said something on my thing, like, well, that makes her worried. And I was like, yeah, but you'll go and look into it. Is there something in my mouth? My eyes are jacked. But I said, but you'll go in and look into it and stuff. So, I'm excited to see what you find when you look into it. But, I've been doing this, looking into this stuff before I even started the channel. Is when I saw the stuff in 2020, what Charlie Ward was talking about. Everything he has said has been playing out. And the reason I was listening when he was saying stuff is because everything he said went with the Great Awakening. It went with the Age of Aquarius. It went with the reset. It all goes in together. And so, and everything he has said is playing out. It's just not playing out fast enough for some people, but it is exactly playing out. The free energy, the Tesla is going to be all Tesla energy. We're switching off of Edison onto Tesla. And it will be, everything is going to be free. That's what he was trying to do. And Edison, he was a cell. Then there's so much coming out, too, about Chase Morgan, and that they knew exactly what was going on with Epstein. They knew what was going on, and I'm telling you, and there's people you got to think about. These are guys working in banks that have got wives and kids at home. And that's what I'm saying. Some of these people who think like they've been living the high life, like, my husband's a bank president and I'm so whoop-de-doo, how about you? They're going to find out like, oh, your husband committed some serious crimes and he's at issue of being at the end of a rope, so it's not going to be pretty. So that is going to be, a lot of that kind of stuff is going to go down. So it's going to be, the tables are turning. That's what I said. The energy you're putting out is going to come back on you. And superficial bullshit, oh well, I don't care what happens to the kids as long as I've got a fancy car and a fancy house. That's not gonna fly. Is and that is where these people come up with it. It's God's hand, but it's the energy. It's the flipping of the energy. It is that energy is done and is flipping the other direction. It's the pendulum swinging. It has to go the other direction. It has to go back and forth. So it is. It's cosmic energy. It's not. It's not like what all these people say. That I don't know. All these people have such a primitive way of looking at things. So, anyways, the energy is going to go the other direction. And if you've been doing shitty things, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. And some people, it's going to be way worse than a bite. And there's a lot of people who have got family members and stuff that are going to be like, look up about the Nuremberg trials, what happened with those. And this is going to be way bigger and way worse. So, anyways, there is going to be, on one hand, where everything is kind of like all of the debris, all of the yuckiness is going to be in a big old, what are those, a big bonfire of yuck. And then on the other side, it's going to be everything blossoming of people going out and, creating homes and stuff. Like, it isn't going to be just like, oh, here's a couple bucks, go try and, build yourself a house. No, it's going to be like, you want your white picket fence? You want this? No, you're going to be able to put what you want there. This is going to be, you are creating what you want, not just what you think that you can have. No, this is figuring out, what do I really want? What do I want my house to be like? How do I want to live? Like, I really think that the nomad life, like the girl with the dog, she brought another woman yesterday, and she's living in a camper up the road, which I thought it was relatives, but these people are renting her space or something. But anyway, she's nomad. She just goes out and travels, and now winter's over, so she's going to go out and travel. I think that is a cool lifestyle, to go out and get to travel and see every place and meet all different people all the time. But I also want my own little farm. I want Stella to get to have a farm. I want to get to have some animals. I want to have like my own roots too. So, but I'm working towards getting to have, the lifestyle I want by, realizing what's to come, buying silver, working on what I can do for myself to make money. And so, maybe it's teaching kids how to paint. Like, I don't know. I just got to see, like, I'm still free falling. I'm free falling. Every time anything comes into my head, I'm just like, I'm free falling, baby. And I just keep picturing myself out in space, and I'm coming in fast to this planet. And something's going to catch me. And I don't know what it is, but I know the energy, what I've been putting out. I know what's in my heart. And so, that we'll all see. Everybody's going to see, what you've been putting out, because it's going to come back and hit you in the face. And so that is the first thing. So I think it's going to be kind of segments. I think that there's going to be something really big and dramatic that's going to happen, which sure is leading us up into this nuke thing. And but you got to remember that it's going to be 10 minutes of, I would say, last 10 minutes of my life or whatever. It isn't going to be real. But they can do those, the EMP thing. That will be real. If there's any explosions, that's what it is. It is either that or chemicals or something. But then there's still, we still have the big cataclysm. We still have the big sky thing. We still have, where all these ships and stuff, they're going to reveal. The beings are going to come and start helping us. But see, we got to get over this hump, this where everything has got to turn the other direction, where people have to see, the lights have to come on. And then things are going to really start just changing and changing and changing. But I really do think they're going to do everything they can to move people into safer places before, the whole West Coast falls off the fucking, or goes underwater. So I don't know. But I was really excited when I saw that, because it's exactly what that's what they've shown me, that's what that's what was gonna happen. They showed me it was gonna be just land given away and homes. There's gonna be so much incentives to go and start building up these new communities and getting involved. He even said this is going to be community owned. That is what people are going to have to see. You have a stake in your community. You're a part of something. This isn't just you live there so you can go work there. No, this is you. The place is going to be where we put into it, what we make it. And there's going to be communities that are going to thrive, that are going to set the fucking place on fire, where other people are going to be like, oh man, we could do that too. There are going to be communities you're going to go in, and it's going to be like every fucking house is like artistically beautiful. They're just productive. They're just in flow. And, they're going to be like leaders to the other ones to see like, oh, we could do that. We could do that. And don't forget, there's going to be people in position to help people to structure and stuff. It's not going to be like, well, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. There's going to be people to help you figure it out. And the amount of healing centers and the amount of people out there who want to do healing on people. There's going to be so much of that about helping people understand how to heal themselves, how to feel better, and it could be something just as simply as just sitting and talking with somebody, just listening to them, talk about their problems and just sharing your perspective to help them formulate more view of their own predicaments. So it's going to be really, really cool what's going to start happening. So, you got to go through your process. We are losing a lot. We're losing a whole way of life that we've all lived, that we all thought was real. And, sometimes I get super sad about like, oh man, that was so fun when we used to do blah, 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 or that, or that. And then, it's just like, it's all gone. And I went and bought some yogurt yesterday, when I was at the store. Stella loves yogurt, which she's on another thing of not eating again. She's just struggling. So I bought some yogurt, come home, and I'm looking through TikToks. It's like yogurt has got some sort of weird fucking bug from India and some other weird fucking bug from some other, it's like, oh my God. And they say like the names of the things. It's like if it says like chitnik or something, I don't even know these different words. And the ingredients, and go look it up. So all these different things, it's like, God damn, anything that you think like that you're getting to buy stuff to be healthier, it's all so full of garbage. So anyways, things have to change. And I don't know if you've seen the stuff with the McDonald's thing, like it just seems to get worse and worse. Like they're just bringing, oh God, just body, so disgusting. Oh God damn. And who is in there taking these and then grinding it like, oh. And is one of the states, which state is it? That now they have they're changing the labor laws so that kids can work, and kids can work during the night, and kids can work, like just totally changing it because they want to just enslave these people. They want to kill us all off and then enslave these little bigots. They just want them to be little droids. They'll beat that bigot out of them soon enough, as soon as there's nobody there to protect them. And they've got these kids' heads, like the kids their heads are just swiveling around. They don't even know who they are. Like, I don't even, it's no fucking wonder they're angry. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is mental. I'll just be so glad. And I really think it is, close. There's so much building up. And today's Thursday. I'm really, really hoping that this weekend is the weekend that finally I saw. So Florida, they've got people trapped in South Florida. There's no gas. Those gas stations are closed down. Police are blocking them. You can't get gas. And so they've got those people trapped. So I say expect a hurricane there. And they have, let's see. Oh, and there's so much stuff. Oh my God, stuff with Disney, all this stuff. It's just, this stuff is so mental. Like, there's so much. It's crazy. But there was another thing too about someplace. Okay, so they got the people trapped in Florida. They've got the change in the labor laws so that they can put kids to work. There's just school brawls with teachers and students. Like, this, it just gets crazier and crazier. Now, there was another thing I was gonna say. What was that one about? I can't write. There literally is so much stuff going on. It's crazy. There's it's just one thing after another everywhere. So anyways, you got to just keep being safe. Don't go out, and be a part of the chaos. Or, somebody will just walk up and just shoot you. Like, these people have got, like, they're lost their damn minds altogether. And I think it's just the energy, it's the vibration. They can't think straight, they can't function, and so it's gonna be like robots, just like that robot who just turned itself off. It's gonna be like these people are just turning themselves off. That they are just it's falling apart. So just, you got to stay safe and keep working on you. And no, this stuff is real. It's really happening. We are really in the midst of a huge change in this world. And for the people who are ready for it, and that it's going to be really super cool. And then it's, for the people who aren't ready for it, something else is going to happen. But, to the ones who are ready, like, it's already starting. Okay, so be watching for those cities. I'm going to start looking more into the Jackson one. I really may, if this drags out a long time, I may just head down there and start trying to be a part of that one. I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. So just stay safe, and, and anybody who is losing their stuff, their homes and stuff like that, gotta head to those cities. And people who are strung out on drugs and stuff, they're going to help you. You got to start heading into those places, because that's what they're trying to get people to come to, so that they can help them. I swear to God, my hair's attacking me lately. God. So anyways, I'll talk to you later.